I'm going to push that knee up hard, and then I let that relax. So to set this exercise up, I want you to get onto something that we can lay our shoulders on. So a hip thrust platform works fantastic for this. A bench can work, but sometimes they can be a little bit too high, which can make this a bit more challenging. You can put a step under your feet to raise it, or you can just find a box in the gym that's a little bit lower. Now, as we're setting up, what I want to see is we're going to come up into our hip extension. I want to see that we drop the hips a little bit shy of that full extension. If we come up a little bit too high, it can just encourage our lower back to fire, and we can lose some of that glute connection. So I'm going to drop that down a little, and then I want to get a mild posterior tilt. So that's just where I tilt the bottom of my pelvis under and away from me. Once I'm here, I'm going to place my elbows by my side, and whichever leg I'm lifting, I'm going to drive with that same elbow. So if I'm lifting my right leg, I'm going to push my right elbow into the mat, and that's going to help keep me stable to get this knee up, which should mean I can keep that pelvis in position. What I don't want to see is as we lift up, we completely move the hips. So this is our start position. We're going to be slightly below that full extension, mild posterior tilt, supporting through the opposite elbow, and then we want this knee to be perpendicular to the floor. Now, once we're in this setup, what I want to see with the exercise is we're going to drive this knee directly up towards the ceiling. So that's not up towards my chest, it's up towards the ceiling. As I do that, I'm going to try and make sure I keep my pelvic position and drive through my elbow to support. So from here, I'm going to push between my elbow, drive my knee up, and I really want to think about pushing through my heel on whichever leg's on the ground. I'm going to push that knee up hard, and then I let that relax. Now between reps, you can reset, take all the pressure away, go back into it. You can stay in position if you want to. I'm a big fan of resetting, especially if you're new to this exercise, just to make sure we can get that hip positioning correct every single time. If this exercise starts to feel a little bit too easy, all we're going to do is instead of having the knee here and driving up, we're going to have the leg straight in front, and then we're going to drive that hip up. If that's still too easy, we're going to add a kettlebell to my opposite hand, which I'm going to punch up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to go through my exercise. And if all of those variations get a little bit too easy, all we're going to do is take the elbow away, force our hips to work by themselves. And you can do this with the knee up version, and also with the leg straight version.